Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Urban Rider for a look at the new Ethen range of motorcycle goggles. Ethen as a brand are new to us, but they've certainly been around for some time, creating goggles for a wide variety of different disciplines, such as extreme sports, all the way through to off-road riding as well, and creating goggles for the military and the police. So there's a lot of background knowledge from which they can draw from their experience to create this range here, tailoring perfectly to the needs of the road-going urban rider. So these helmets are designed therefore to fit road-going full-face helmets as well as open-face, of course. Now that sounds pretty self-evident, but it's worth stating nonetheless, because a lot of the time if this is the kind of look you're after in terms of the goggle, you're actually going to be buying goggles that were originally created for motocross riders. And as you probably know, motocross helmets have a far larger aperture, meaning that the goggles themselves are generally bigger too. So although they might look right on a website where you can't really scale it and you might imagine it going really nicely with your cool helmet, when you actually go to fit them, you'll find that they're too big to fit in the gap, and that can be very annoying, of course. So the options are surprisingly limited before Ethen came along in terms of something like that, with a comfortable foam backing, with modern, well-constructed design. So here we have these two goggles in the Scrambler and the Cafe Racer that perfectly cater to that need, with a wide variety of different accessories as well to go with them. So it's slightly different price points, the Scrambler being the lower price point of the two. This is a more familiar design. So this has a slightly retro rounded motocross goggle look to it, and it has a really nifty feature as standard in the photochromic lens. So that means that under low light conditions, this is a more or less clear lens, but under bright direct sunlight, it'll turn tinted, meaning that you don't need to accessorize and swap out lenses depending on whether it's sunny or not. So that's a really great feature. On the Cafe Racer goggle, we have a really compact goggle here, and the reason for that is that this is a frameless design. So whereas normally you have a lens surrounded by a frame, this is simply a lens itself, even the strap connecting directly to a point on the lens. And that can be very difficult to craft, but it's executed so well here. And the main thing about this is that you don't therefore actually lose any visibility, despite the fact that it's so nice and compact. And that compact nature means it's going to fit in every single road going full face out there, which often isn't the case with these kind of goggles. They have a really nice sort of slightly brown tint to the lens as standard. There are other versions in the range available. For example, you can get one with a slightly more silvered lens, and do check them out on the website at urbanrider.co.uk. But one of the things we love about both of the goggles in the range is the interchangeability and the ease of accessorizing of the straps. Now the straps themselves are very, very well made. So they feature this rubber backing, which is really important because even if your helmet doesn't have this retaining goggle clip at the back, you can still have this on the shell without it sliding around. So it basically means that you don't have to worry whatever helmet you've got. And the other nice feature is that this Velcro overlay strap is the method for connecting the strap to the goggle or to the lens, depending on which of these two models you're going for. And it's just so easy to do. It literally just straps on like that. It holds in place very, very nicely, but it means if you want to accessorize with any of the other colored straps in the range, it's very easy to do so. And at the minute, these are at an absolutely cracking price point. It's really nice that Ethen have managed to make that an affordable option. It makes buying the goggle really fun, and it will mean that if you've got a variety of different outfits, of course, you can go and select the different colors accordingly. The other thing is the dual density foam on the back of the goggle itself. So you've got this gray colored part of the foam, which is a thicker density nearer to the lens itself, and then a much softer black section, which is the bit that obviously sits on your face, and that just absorbs the different contours really neatly, very comfortably. It also, being the foam, it allows a degree of airflow too, so it prevents steaming. And also to combat that, you have these holes on the side, which are very subtle, and they're going to allow a degree of airflow as well to prevent that on those slightly damper days. There's another version of the Cafe Racer here, which has this slightly more silvered lens and a large number more of those holes around the periphery. And that gives you an option there if that's something that you particularly want. In terms of things like the packaging, you can certainly see that Ethen have positioned this as a premium goggle, but we don't feel that the price is prohibitively expensive, and we think they represent very good value for money. So we think these goggles are going to do well. But if you've got any comments, questions or feedback, as always, leave that in the section below. We love to hear from you. And otherwise, stay tuned because there's more great stuff coming out from Ethen and our other leading brands coming into this riding season. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.